The sky was dark and full of clouds. A cold wind moved through the trees as Leo walked alone on the forest path. He had taken the shortcut to reach home before dinner. The sound of leaves under his shoes was the only thing he could hear until he heard something strange, a soft sound like a cry. It was not a bird, not a cat, not any animal he knew. It was soft but sad, like someone was in pain. Leo stopped and looked around. He turned on his phone light and walked towards the sound behind a fallen tree. He saw something small, very small. It was shaking and covered in mud. Its body looked broken, and one wing was bleeding. Its skin was dark blue and shiny like metal, and then it opened its eyes, bright golden eyes that looked straight into his soul. Leo gasped and stepped back, but the creature did not move. It only looked at him, like it was asking for help. Leo could not leave it there. He took off his hoodie and gently picked the creature up. It was warm and very light, like holding a kitten with wings. He wrapped it and placed it in his backpack. He looked around to make sure no one saw him, and he ran home. When he reached home, he went straight to his room. He closed the door and locked it. He opened the backpack and placed the creature on a soft towel. It was still breathing, still watching him. Leo cleaned its wing with water. He did not know what he was doing, but the creature stayed calm. It let him help. Hours passed and Leo stayed awake. He did not tell anyone, not even his mom. He gave the creature water with a spoon, and when he touched its head, it made a small happy sound like a purr, but deeper. Leo smiled and whispered, "What are you that night?" Something strange happened. Leo was lying in bed trying to sleep. The small dragon was resting in a shoebox beside his bed, but then the lights in his room blinked. The clock stopped for a second, and he heard a low sound from outside, like wings cutting through air. He jumped out of bed and looked out the window. There was nothing, only trees and dark sky. He thought it was just his mind playing games, but then something heavy landed on the roof. Not a cat, not a bird. Something big. The roof creaked. The walls shook a little. Leo froze. He did not breathe. The small creature in the box opened its eyes and looked toward the ceiling. Another sound, this time like a growl, but deep and slow, not angry, but not friendly either. Leo stepped back. He grabbed his baseball bat and moved toward the window again. Outside, the sky was not empty now. He saw it, a shadow, huge wings flying above the trees. He could not believe it. Was it another one, like the small one he found? Was that its mother? He did not know. He only knew something had changed, something big. The next morning was quiet. Too quiet. Leo walked to the backyard to check the air, but what he saw made him drop his cup. There were more of them. Not one, not 2 dozens. Big dragons, small dragons. Old ones with horns, young ones with soft wings. They were standing, flying, sitting on trees and roofs all around his backyard. One of them walked forward. It was taller than a car. Its eyes glowed red, and when it opened its mouth, Leo thought it would roar, but it did not. Instead, he heard a voice in his head, clear, slow, powerful. "You touched the child. You are not one of us, but the child chose you." Leo stepped back. He wanted to run, but he could not move. The voice came again. "You have done something no human has done in 1,000 years." Leo looked at the small dragon in his hands. It was awake, looking at the big one. Without fear, Leo spoke in a low voice. "What do you want?" The big dragon blinked once, then twice, and said, "You have started something that cannot be stopped." The others moved. Wings opened, eyes glowed. Leo's heart raced. Was this the end or the beginning? He did not know, but he knew one thing: his life would never be the same again. Leo could not speak. His mouth was open, but no words came out. The sky was soft and pink, like early morning dreams, but his backyard was filled with dragons. Some stood tall like trees, their wings folded like blankets made of fire. Others flew slowly in circles above the house. Their eyes were all watching him, not blinking, not moving, just watching. Leo felt like he was in a painting, a strange dream painting where time had stopped, but this was not a dream. The grass was real. The cold air was real. The sound of heavy wings was real. The small dragon in his arms moved, its eyes now wide and alert, like it knew something he did not. Leo held It close. It made a sound, not fear, not pain, something like a Kala, giant dragon stepped forward. Its body black like stone, eyes burning orange. It did not walk fast. Every step was slow but strong. The ground felt it. Leo felt I wanted to step back. But he could not, his feet were frozen like roots in the earth. The big dragon came closer and lowered its head. Its eyes met Leo's and it spoke, but not with sound. The voice came inside Leo's head, smooth and deep like thunder behind a mountain. You kept the child safe. Where Leo could not answer, his heart was loud. His hands were shaking, but he tried. His voice dry and small. It needed help. It was alone. I could not leave it. The dragon blinked. And the voice came again. Many would have left it. Many would have feared it. But you did not. Leo looked at the small dragon. It was calm now, resting again, trusting him. The other dragons moved closer. Their colors were different, some silver like moon, some green like deep forest. One had scars across its wings, another had a crown made of bone. Then one of them stepped ahead. This one was red with gold marks. It looked younger, faster, but its voice was sharp like fire. You are human. You should not touch what belongs to us. That child carries blood older than your cities. You do not understand the danger. Leo tried to speak again. I did not know. I just wanted to help. The red dragon growled, and the air shook for a second. But the black dragon raised one claw, and silence returned. Another voice came this time from a small dragon on the roof, soft and old like wind in a cave. Child chose him. It is done. The bond is made. All dragons looked at Leo again. Some looked with respect, some with doubt, some with something darker. Leo asked slowly, what bond? What does that mean? The black dragon stood tall, wings opening slowly, its shadow covering Leo like night. When a child dragon is in danger, it calls out with its soul. If someone answers, a bond is formed. It is rare, very rare, almost impossible with humans. You are now part of something older than your kind. Leo felt dizzy. His head was full of questions, his heart full of fear. But deep inside, a small voice whispered, you were chosen. The black dragon turned to the others. He will come with us. He must face the council. They will decide what to do. Leo stepped back. Wait, what council? Where? Why me? The dragons did not answer. Instead, the air behind the black dragon began to twist like smoke folding into itself. A hole opened in the sky, but not like a storm. It was silent, cold, full of stars. Leo had never seen anything like it. A doorway to somewhere else, somewhere far and not human. The black dragon looked at him. You are part of our story now. You must walk the path. Leo looked at his house, his bed, his window, his world. Then he looked at the baby dragon still sleeping in his arms. Still trusting him, he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and nodded. The dragons moved. The portal opened wider. The stars inside began to shift, and Leo took his first step into a world no human had walked in 1,000 years. The sky was not blue, not black, not anything Leo had seen before. It was moving like water, colors changing like breath. Purple turning silver, blue turning red. Stars falling upward like rain. Leo stood on soft ground that looked like glass but felt like sand. Mountains floated in the sky, rivers flowed through the air like snakes made of light, and dragons flew everywhere, big, small, old, new, each one glowing with something powerful. This was not Earth. This was their world, hidden from humans for thousands of years. A place built by fire and time. Leo held the baby dragon close. It was still calm, still quiet, but its eyes were open, watching the world like it remembered it. The black dragon landed beside him, its wings folded in silence. Its voice returned inside Leo's head. Welcome to Eldra, land of the first flame. You stand where no human has stood in many lifetimes. Leo turned slowly, his eyes wide, his heart fast. The air felt warm and cold at the same time. He was not afraid, but not safe. Either dragons watched from cliffs, from the sky, from behind crystal trees that shimmered like ice. They said nothing, but he could feel their questions. Why him? Why now? Why a human? Black dragon pointed with its wing toward a glowing path. It floated above the ground, leading toward a great circle of stone, tall like towers, Carved with symbols that moved on their own. The council waits. Leo followed step by step. Each footfall felt heavier. Like walking deeper into something old and serious, he reached. The circle 7 dragons stood in a half ring, each one different. One made of fire, one of ice. One had no wings but 4 eyes. One was blind but smiled at him. The middle was a stone table, and on it a glowing orb like a beating heart. The dragon of flame spoke first. Its voice a deep crackle like burning wood. You helped a child that was not yours. While Leo spoke slowly, his voice small in the great space. It was alone. It was hurt. I just did what I thought was right. The dragon of ice stepped forward. Its breath made frost dance in the air. Do you know what it means? To hold a dragon's life in your hands. To form a soul bond. To change fate itself. Leo looked at the baby dragon, then at the council, then said, I don't know what it means, but I know. I will protect it. I won't let anything hurt it, even if it's not human, even if I don't understand everything. The blind dragon nodded. Its smile grew. Then you must choose. Leo frowned. Choose what? The heart orb floated into the air. It pulsed like it was alive. A light moved from it to Leo's chest. Warm, strange, not painful, but not gentle either. Fire dragon spoke again. You can return home. Forget all of this. Live your life as before. Or you can take the path of flame you will walk with. Us learn our ways, face danger, face truth, but never return the same. Leo looked down at his hands, at the baby dragon now curled in his arms. Its eyes met his silent, asking. He looked up at the strange sky, then at the circle of dragons, then said, if I go with you, will the baby be safe? The blind dragon answered, if you stay it will be taken, raised without you, used by others. But if you come, you will be its shield, and it will be yours. Leo took a breath that felt deeper than any breath before. He thought of his house, his forest, his school, his mother. Then he thought of the dragon. The night they met, the way it looked at him like he mattered. He stepped forward. I choose the path of flame. The orb grew brighter. So bright it became light, pure light. It flew into his chest and disappeared. The council lowered their heads, one by one. Each one spoke a word in a tongue older than the wind. The bond is sealed. Suddenly Leo felt everything change, like a new sense had opened in him. He could feel the dragons here. Their hearts smell their fire, see things behind the air. The baby dragon opened its wings. A soft glow rose from its body. It wrapped around Leo like a second soul. The path was chosen. The fire had accepted him, but far away in a shadow behind the stars. Something else had felt the bond too, and it was waking up. The wind in Elder did not blow like earth wind. It whispered. It carried voices, old voices long gone, but never silent. Leo stood on a high cliff. Below him was the glowing valley where dragons lived. Above him, the sky shimmered like moving glass. He had not slept since the bond. He could not sleep. Too much had changed. He could feel the dragons even when they were far. He could feel the heartbeat of the baby dragon now resting near him. Had named it Nyx. It had not spoken yet, but it always understood him. Its eyes followed him like a shadow made of light. Leo heard footsteps behind him. Not heavy, not dragon. It was a voice soft and broken like old paper. You feel it now, don't you? Leo turned. An old man stood behind him, wearing long robes, face marked with lines, eyes glowing faint green. He was not fully human, not fully dragon either. Who are you? Leo asked. The man smiled. I am what remains of a bridge between two worlds. Sat beside Leo. The air grew colder, the wind slower, like it was listening too. You are not the first human to come here. The first bond happened long ago, when dragons and humans were one. They shared sky and fire, blood and soul, but it ended in war. Your kind feared us. Our kind burned too much. Leo looked down at Nyx, his heart heavy. Then why me? Why now? The man reached into his cloak and pulled out a small crystal. Inside it, a flame danced. But the flame had a shape, the shape of a human hand, because the blood in your veins is not only yours. You carry a mark, an echo of the first flame. Your great line once walked with dragons. Now that blood calls again. Leo touched the crystal. It was warm, but also sad. What do I do now? He asked. You learn, the man said. You learn what was lost, and why it matters. He pointed toward a distant cave high in the floating mountains. There, the Archive of Wings. A place even most dragons forget. Go there. Take Nyx, and see the truth. Leo looked at Nyx. Nyx nodded, as if it already knew this would happen. They flew the next morning. Leo rode on a gentle sky dragon, its body like smoke, its wings silent. Nyx flew beside them. Faster than before, stronger. The cave was hidden behind light, not rock, not wall, but living light. It opened as they approached, and inside there was silence, but not empty silence. The silence of memory walls, carved with dragon symbols, floating orbs that showed the past, flames that spoke without sound. Leo walked slowly. He saw images in the air. Dragons fighting beside humans. Dragons flying over ruined cities. Dragons burning books. Dragons saving children. It was not one story. It was many, some of peace, some of war, some of pain too deep to name. Then he saw a vision, a boy like him, holding a baby dragon, a bond forming, and then a shadow rising, dark, endless, with red eyes. The vision cracked. The flame turned cold. The light faded. Nyx made a soft sound. Fear, recognition. Leo turned to it. You saw that too? You know that thing? Nyx looked at the pie wall. A single symbol glowed, not red, not blue, but black. The archive spoke, the voice of fire, ancient and slow. What returns now was locked long ago. Only the bonded can see it. Only the bonded can stop it. Leo's hands were shaking, his heart full of weight. He thought this was a journey of peace, a new beginning, but now he saw it was more. A warning, a test, a war not yet started. He stepped back into the light. The sky felt different. Not friendly, not calm. The old man was waiting near the cave. You saw it, didn't you? Leo nodded. What is it? He asked. The man looked at the clouds. It is a dragon, but not like the others, born from fear, fed by silence. It wants the child. It wants Nyx. Leo placed his hand on Nyx's head. Nyx pushed into it. A promise. Without words, I won't let anything take him. Leo said. The man turned. Then you must be ready, because it is already watching. Fire fell from the sky like rain. Not orange, not yellow, but blue, cold fire. Fire that burned without heat. Leo ran through the valley. Nyx flew above him, circling, calling, warning. The attack had come without sound. No warning, no signal, just shadow, then fire, then screams. Dragons ran, flew, fought, but the enemy was not like them. They looked like dragons, but moved like machines, wind sharp, eyes empty. No soul, only rage. These were the broken, a lost clan, banished long ago, now returned with metal in their bones and poison in their hearts. Leo hid behind a stone, breathing fast, hands shaking. The air smelled like smoke and ash. Nyx landed beside him, small chest rising and falling, but its eyes were strong. Leo looked at the battlefield. Dragons fighting. Dragons, brothers and sisters, turned to enemies. Why are they doing this? He whispered. The voice returned in his head. The voice of the flame, because you carry the bond and they want it destroyed. Suddenly a broken dragon landed near him, its body half metal, half scale, eyes glowing red. It moved without sound. Its mouth open, no roar, only a hiss like a dying star. Leo grabbed a stone, useless, but all he had. The broken stepped closer. Nyx jumped in front, wings wide, small but fearless. The broken paused, looked at Nyx, then looked at Leo. Then it spoke, but not with words. Give it to us or be erased. Leo stood slowly. He held Nyx close. Never, he said. The broken dragon raised its wing, but before it could strike, a blast of wind slammed it into the trees. Another dragon landed, silver fast, with a long scar across its face. It roared loud, real, full of fire. Leo recognized it, one of the council guards. But it was alone. You must come now. The cave is lost. The skies are falling. We can't hold. Then Leo nodded, ran with Nyx to the silver dragon, jumped on its back. They rose into the sky, fast, wind tearing at his face, heart pounding below. The valley was breaking, flames in the rivers, ash in the clouds. This is a war, Leo said softly. The silver dragon did not reply. They reached a high cliff, hidden behind light, where a group of dragons waited, wounded, tired, but alive. One of them stepped forward, a tall dragon with white eyes. The leader of the guard, you are the reason they came, but you may also be the reason they fail. Leo dropped to his knees. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a kid. The dragon stepped closer. That's why you still have a heart. Another voice spoke from the shadows. Human, clear, strong, maybe. That's not all he has. Leo turned and saw a figure walk into the light, a man but different, skin like stone, eyes like glass, carrying old books and wires. Who are you? Leo asked. The man smiled. A scientist. A mistake, and maybe your only hope. He sat down beside Leo, pulled out a small sphere. Inside it a tiny spark danced. This is dragon tech, built when humans and dragons worked together, before the fall, before the silence. Leo leaned in. What does it do? The man looked at Nyx, then at Leo. It wakes the fire inside you. Not just magic, not just flame, but the memory of what you are. Leo's heart jumped. Not magic, I'm not anyone special. Man shook his head. You're not magic, you're human, but part of you remembers, your blood remembers, and that's enough. He placed the sphere in Leo's hand. It was warm, then hot, then suddenly silent. Leo closed his eyes, felt the fire not outside, but inside. He saw flashes. Ancient humans flying beside dragons, using flame not to destroy, but to build, to protect. He opened his eyes. The flame was inside him now, not burning, but alive. Nyx glowed beside him, its wings brighter, its body stronger. The bond was growing. The silver dragon turned. They are coming again, this time for the child, this time for you. Leo stood, his voice calm. Then let them come. Far beyond Eldra, beyond flame, beyond stars, something moved. It had no name, no voice, no shape that stayed the same. Only hunger, only memory, only fire that turned cold. It had waited, watched, waited again. Now it had seen him, the boy, the bond, the spark that should never return. It reached out, not with hands, but with shadow, with fear, with silence, and the stars blinked, as if afraid to look back. Leo woke up, breathing hard. The ground was shaking, the sky was darker, the air full of static. Something was changing. He looked around. Dragons flying faster, whispers in the wind, eyes looking at him like they knew something he didn't. Nyx stood beside him, wings half open, body glowing faint silver. It looked straight into Leo's eyes, and for the first time Leo heard a voice, not in the sky, not in the wind, but inside. Not words, not language, but meaning. You are ready. Leo stood slowly. He felt it like a second heart beating inside his chest. The fire was there, alive, awake. The scientist walked to him, carrying a scroll made of ash and steel. It unfolded in his hands, symbols glowing red, images of humans, dragons, and one in between. The child of both, not blood, but bond, not magic, but memory. You, he said to Leo, you are not the first, but you are the first. In 1,000 years, the dragons didn't just choose you, your blood called them. The bond was always sleeping in you, waiting for a dragon to awaken it. Leo's hands shook, his voice was quiet. Why me, why now? The scroll answered before the man could speak. A symbol rose from the page, turned into light, then into a mirror. In it Leo saw himself, but not just himself. Saw fire on his skin, wings made of stars, a dragon beside him, not Nyx, but older, bigger one. With his soul he stepped back. That's not me, I can't be that. The scientist placed a hand on Leo's shoulder. You don't have to be that today, but the shadow has returned. The broken serve it, and it wants Nyx, because Nyx is the last royal flame, the last of the old line. If they take him, they can open the gate again, and what comes through will not be stopped. Leo looked at Nyx. Nyx nodded slowly, as if saying, I know, and I choose you anyway. The sky cracked, like glass hit by thunder. A portal opened far above the mountains, dark, long, full of eyes that did not blink. The enemy was watching now, and the flame inside Leo burned hotter. The scroll turned to ash in the scientist's hands. Its message given, its time over. The ground below them began to rise, a platform made of crystal, pushed up by dragons who carried it with care. The council had returned, their eyes serious, their wings folded tight. You must lead now, they said. Not us, not the past. You. Leo stepped onto the crystal, Nyx beside him. The platform rose high into the air, where wind became whisper, where the world could see. Dragons circled around them, Thousands, some had doubted him. Now they bowed. The light from Leo's chest grew. Wider, brighter, stronger. Nyx opened its wings, and they shone like dawn. The bond between them became visible, a thread of silver and gold, tied from heart to heart, old, powerful, unbreakable. The voice of the enemy echoed in the wind. You are not enough. You are only human. Leo answered without fear. I am human, and that is why I will win the sky. Answered with lightning, with flame, with the roar of dragons who had chosen him. The war was no longer a question. It had begun, and Leo, the boy who once found a broken creature in the woods, was now the spark that would decide the fate of two worlds. Far beneath Eldra, below the mountains, below the rivers, there was a chamber. It was not carved. It was grown, built from silence, lit by a single flame. A flame that had never gone out. This was the first fire, the beginning of dragonkind, the breath of stars, the secret that gave dragons their soul, and the one thing the enemy could never touch. Until now the flame flickered, as if afraid, as if waiting. High above in the storm-filled sky, Leo stood on the crystal platform, Nyx beside him, dragons all around. The portal was wide open. Now the broken had gathered in the clouds, their wings sharp like blades, their eyes full of shadow, their roars full of silence. The air shook, the stars blinked, even the light felt heavy. The enemy was not a creature, not a person. It was a presence, a hunger older than names. It came through the portal piece by piece, shape by shape, eyes without faces, wings without feathers, a voice without sound. You are small, it said to Leo. You are weak, you are late. Leo stepped forward, his fire glowing inside his chest, his voice steady. I was always small, but I'm not alone. Nyx lifted into the air, wings wide, the bond between them shining like a sword all around them. Dragons roared, not in fear, but in promise. One by one, they lit their flames, red, blue, green, gold, each flame singing an ancient song. The enemy attacked. The sky broke open. Black fire fell, wings slammed into wings, light crashed into shadow. The air filled with screams and roar and wind. Leo flew with Nyx, not behind, but beside. They moved like one, faster than thought, sharper than fear. The bond between them guiding every motion. He reached out his hand, and the fire in his chest burst into life. It wrapped around him like armor. It wrapped around Nyx like memory. He saw the first fire in his mind. He saw the path to it, and he knew that was where the war would end. Not in the sky, not in the clouds, but where it all began. He dove straight down, past the fighting, past the mountains, into the deep cracks of the world. The enemy followed, its wings too large, its hunger too loud. Leo flew faster. The rocks moved aside. The light bent toward him. The flame was calling. At last he reached it. The chamber of the first fire, quiet, still glowing. He stepped off Nyx's back, walked forward. The enemy crashed into the cave behind him. It screamed, but not with sound, with fear. No. It said not here, not that. Leo stood at the flame. It floated before him, small, simple, but more alive than anything he had ever seen. He heard its voice, not like dragons, not like humans, like warmth that asked only one thing. Will you carry me? Leo looked at Nyx, then at the enemy, then at his own hands. Yes, he whispered. Yes, I will. The flame moved into him. It entered his chest, and the fire from before became something else. Not just heat, not just power. It became life. Leo turned, his body now glowing gold, his eyes filled with fire. The enemy moved back, its shadow cracking. You cannot, you are not. But it was too late. Leo raised his hand. The fire reached out, not to burn, but to push, to send the enemy back, to close the gate, to end what should never have begun. The fire touched the shadow, and the shadow broke. It screamed. It vanished. It was gone. The chamber was still again. The first fire now inside him. The war over. Days later, the sky was clear. The land was quiet. Dragons flew peacefully over Eldra. No more fear, no more fire in the wind. Leo sat by a lake, Nyx beside him, bigger now, stronger, but still looking at Leo like the first day they met. The council came. They bowed. The choice is yours. Stay or return to your world. Leo looked at the sky, then at Nyx. Then at his own reflection in the water, he smiled. I think this is my world now. Nyx opened its wings. Leo climbed on, and together, they rose into the sky. Not a boy, not a dragon, but something new, something born from fire, bound by choice, and ready for whatever came next.